Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Irfan Aiman bin Ilham, and my matrix ID is 2020868782. And the chapter I choose for this assignment is pricing transport. First of all is, what is pricing? Pricing can be defined as the set of prices charged by the transport company to the end users of transport after considering several costs involved in the transport production and operation. Prices may be set to achieve specific objectives for the transport supplier regarding his welfare or to improve well-being of consumers. Now we go to the types of pricing. There are 6 types of pricing in this chapter, and the first one is marginal cost. In economic and finance, marginal cost is the change in total cost that arises when quantity produced changes by 1 unit. Marginal cost function is expressed as the derivative of the total cost function respect to quantity. Next is the cost plus pricing. Cost plus pricing is a pricing method commonly used by firms. It's primarily because it is easy to calculate and requires little information. And the third is average cost. Average cost is distinct from the price and depends on the interaction with demand through elasticity of demand and elasticity of supply. Average cost will vary in relation to the quantity produced unless fixed costs are zero and variable cost constants. The fourth is consumer surplus. Consumer surplus is defined as the difference between the maximum amounts that a consumer is willing to pay with the amount that consumer pays. For example, a trip to KL by using the airplane from Singapore will cost around 400 ringgit by using economic class ticket. If consumer is willing to pay for 700 ringgit for the same journey, then a consumer surplus is 300 ringgit. The fifth type of pricing is market segmentation. A market segment is a subgroup of people or organizations sharing one or more characteristics that cause them to have similar product needs. Market segmentation, improved segmentation can lead to significantly improve the marketing effectiveness. With the right segmentation, the right list can be purchased. Advertising results can improve and customer satisfaction can be increased. In market segmentation, there is 4 criteria for effective segmentation, which is accessibility, responsiveness, identifiability, and the last one is substantiality. And the last type of pricing is cost-benefit analysis. Transport investment analysis usually involves social costs and benefit as well as financial aspect. For public investment, government has depended on a technique called social cost-benefit analysis. We go to the next section, which is price discrimination. Price discrimination is firm discriminates between different groups of customers by dividing them into a few different segments. Each group is charged a different price for identical units of supply. For the advantage of price discrimination is, first, maximize operator's income. Second, the reduced fare will generate new traffic revenue. Third, cross-elasticity effect will occur. For disadvantages for price discrimination is, first, migration of high-yield customers. customers may move from being high-yield customer to a low-yield customer. Next, reduce revenue or income of operators. When price discrimination takes place, the price charged to the end users will be lower. Third is passenger dissatisfaction. Occur when standard fare passengers receive similar services as discounted fare passengers. And the last one is artificial peak. Artificial peak can create a spike demand. For the next section is importance of pricing. First is to follow standard rate structure. This rate structure is to avoid unfair charges to the end users and penalty charge for not abiding the ceiling and floor price. Next is decision on infrastructure and services. By knowing the price, then only operator can decide the infrastructure and services that they can provide. Next, changes in operating condition. Mode of transportation, wrong decision on mode selection will affect the revenue of the firm. And the last one is maintain competitive level. Important for perfect competitive market when number of buyers are set and seller is large, knowing the right pricing to charge. For the case study I've been researched, I found that there is pricing competitive for airlines in Malaysia. In this article, market segmentation has been tested and it is supported with several factors that influence the decision of the airline's pricing among passengers who purchase the airfare tickets. In this study, the main focus is on the busiest and the shortest international routes. If there are multiple airlines flying between the two cities, the airline will need to keep their prices competitive. In other words, passengers are the key segmentation of factor for airline determining their fares. My opinion for this case study is, I agree with the article as nowadays every company transportation must decide to give the best price ever given to the customer. Hence, important for perfect competitive market where numbers of buyer and seller is large, knowing the right pricing to charge. And for the conclusion that I learned from this chapter is, pricing is how to assess, For the conclusion, what I learned from the chapter I chose on transportation pricing is how to assess risk and cost in order to determine a price. Aside from that, I learned how to make the optimal price decision based on the firm's revenue. And that's all from me. Thank you very much.